Welcome back to Just a Bit Offside. I'm Fish.
Gator.
And it's week 15 NFL recap show. There was insane finishes. The greatest NFL comeback in history. The dumbest play in NFL history. We're going to unpack all of it for you guys in this recap show. What an insane week of football.
It's only going to get better.
Yeah, as we get closer to the playoffs, I mean, what we saw in week 15, we're going to try and keep it tight. There's a lot to unpack here. We'll start. We had, of course, Thursday night football. Then there was Saturday football, so we'll get into that. Sunday and the Monday night game. There's a lot to talk about, so let's dive right in. Going into all of our recap shows, we have our predictions that we made for the week. Going into this, I am up 10 in our season-long predictions.
About that.
So we are going to let you know who picked who in these recaps as well. Okay, Thursday night football. It was 49ers at Seahawks. I don't think, like, both of us picked the 49ers.
Yeah.
They're on a heater. It was up for grabs whether Brock Purdy was going to start.
Yeah.
And he ended up playing.
Yeah, Seattle's been on a slide. Seattle's definitely going in the opposite direction, not the way they started the season. So
they were leading that division for quite a while.
Yeah. Now they're in second. They're at 7-7. It's not too bad. Arizona's behind them at 4-10. So they're not.
They're in a hunt for a wild card spot, but you got to win some games, Seattle. Like 49ers, I don't blame you for losing that one. Their defense is nuts.
Yeah.
Lights out, Bosa, all of it. They're crazy. And then their offense with adding McCaffrey at the trade deadline. And Brock Purdy, if Brock Purdy wasn't going to play, you give the Seahawks a chance, but Brock Purdy's been doing well.
Brock Purdy played well, and the worst thing for Seattle right now is this drops them to 7-7.
Yeah.
They're fighting for that wild card. This week they play the Chiefs.
Oh, that's not good.
In Arrowhead. So anyways, not ideal.
So what are some of the stats on this game?
Purdy had a decent game, 217 yards, 2 TDs. Geno, 238, 1 TD, but he got sacked 3 times. McCaffrey had a game.
Yeah.
Kittle had a game.
Didn't Kittle get 2 TDs?
2 TDs, 93 yards, 2 TDs. McCaffrey, 108 yards rushing with 1 TD, and then he threw in, had another 30 yards receiving.
Yeah.
I don't
think it was fair.
I don't even have any notes on Seattle because it's just
What was the final score?
21-13.
Yeah, so pretty easy win.
It wasn't a blowout. Yeah.
49ers were a 3-point favorite on the road. We both get a point. We both picked the 49ers. They're just on a heater. They're most likely going to get that second seed and a bye going into the playoffs. It's still a little early to talk about that, but right now that's the way it's looking like. All right, next we're on to Saturday football. I love December because we get Saturday football, and there were 3 games. Like now, one of them's Cleveland Ravens. We're not going to talk about that a lot, but we do have to kick things off with that first Saturday game. It's actually the first time somebody with the last name Saturday coached a team on a Saturday in the NFL. It's never happened before. You got a record for that.
There you go.
And the Colts were up. I don't even know where to start with this other than the Colts were up 33-0 at halftime.
Yeah.
It was not looking good for the Vikings. It was Colts-Vikings. It was looking really bad.
They're at home, too.
Vikings.
Yeah.
Colts were a underdog, obviously, the Vikings having such a good record. It was a 4-point favorite for the Vikings. 33-0. Like, the Vikings couldn't get anything going. Kirk Cousins had negative fantasy points at halftime. It was disgusting. You're thinking the Vikings are trying to keep their division alive.
Yeah.
And they can't have a loss to the Colts. Like, this is embarrassing. And then, I don't know what happened during halftime, but they came out slinging.
I don't even know what to even say. I don't even know. So it was crazy. Into overtime, too, by the way. It went to overtime.
They had to force it to overtime because they were down 33-0. And it was the biggest comeback in NFL history.
Yeah.
So hats off to the Vikings. What were some of Kirk Cousins' stats by the end of the game?
The funniest thing, too, about the Colts, and I was talking to you on the phone about it, is that I felt like every single time the Colts had the ball in the first half, they were scoring. But they weren't putting it like they weren't getting 7. They were getting
field goals.
So they were even leaving points on the field.
Yeah.
They were just constantly field goal.
It could have been higher.
It could have been way higher, but they just couldn't. It was all about the field goal. So Matt Ryan, 182 yards, TD, 3 sacks. Only one thrown TD, right? So
yeah.
Cousins finished the game.
Yeah, that's what I want to know.
460 yards.
Wow.
4 TDs, 2 interceptions. He was sacked 7 times.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Most of those came in the first half, obviously.
So, yeah. And, the Colts also got 2 defensive touchdowns in the first half,
They
too.
did,
So, I mean, Colts played an amazing first half. They just the bed in the second half and just let their foot right off the gas.
One thing that needs to be noted is Matt Ryan has now had 2 embarrassingly huge leads blown. One in the Super Bowl, the Super Bowl versus Tom Brady and the Patriots. That was disgusting. Matt Ryan will never live that down as long as he lives, and now he's done it twice. Now he has the greatest Super Bowl comeback win ever against him, and then now the greatest NFL comeback win of all time versus him as a Colt. It's embarrassing.
Yeah, and whatever. At the end of the day, don't even worry about the Colts because there wasn't really anything really going on there. I mean, like I said, they had 2 defensive touchdowns and a ton of field goals. Dalvin Cook had 95 yards rushing, 95 yards receiving, and a touchdown.
Ooh, that's nice.
KJ Osborne had 157 yards and a TD. Justin Jefferson again threw 123 receiving yards and another touchdown.
That's like a low game for him, eh?
He
gets 120 and you're like, oh, that seems low. Even though that's like top drawer.
He's ridiculous.
He's a beast.
He's now, there's a big distance now.
Is he the number 1 overall receiver? I know Tyreek Hill has more yards, but and Tyreek Hill is the fastest man alive.
No, I think Justin Jefferson's number 1 in the league now.
He has the more receiving yards.
Yeah.
Is Justin Jefferson the best wide receiver in football?
Yeah.
I think he has to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Tyreek is a close second. And it's too bad that Cooper Kupp went out with injury this season because that would have been interesting.
Yeah.
Not that he has Matthew Stafford to throw to him, but still, Justin Jefferson, the best wide receiver in all of football.
Yeah. I agree. 100%.
Okay.
Yep. All right.
Well, so you picked the Colts.
39-36 overtime.
In overtime.
Yeah.
This guy picked the Colts, which in hindsight, you almost pulled that off.
I had a 10 game parlay going that was paying out $7.8 million US.
Nice.
And I was riding it. I was
picking the Colts.
7 for 10. I was going the whole way.
You were there.
Colts screwed me.
Colts screwed you. But in our pick'ems, you did the Colts, I get the Vikings, so I get a point there. On to the next Saturday game. It was Cleveland and Ravens. It was in Cleveland. They were a 3-point favorite, and Cleveland did enough of a good job to win. I don't think it wasn't high scoring.
No. The Ravens only scored 3 points.
Yeah, wasn't it 13-3?
13-3, yeah. There was no touchdowns. It was 1 field goal.
Deshaun Watson and the Cleveland Browns did not put up amazing numbers, but it was enough to get the job done. Lamar Jackson's still out. It was questionable whether Tyler Huntley would start for the Ravens. He did, but he can't put the ball in the end zone. So there's the 1 field goal. The Ravens are slippery.
Well, yeah.
Way down in the AFC. They're going to have their work cut out for them.
Well, they dropped in a second now in the AFC North.
Because of the Bengals.
Bengals are 10-4. They're 9-5.
Bengals are on a heater.
Yeah.
So the Ravens are going to have to hope for a wild card now and hope that Lamar Jackson's healthy enough to win them a playoff game.
They're saying Lamar's back this week.
That would be interesting.
And the rest of their schedule, I mean, the Ravens' schedule is the Falcons, the Steelers, and the Bengals.
Yeah.
And then the Bengals' schedule is the Patriots, Bills, and obviously the Ravens.
All tough.
So,
I mean,
the Bengals have a tougher schedule.
Yeah.
So, but I guess we just got to see what happens. Yeah, the Ravens, they only put up 3 points. Rushing, they had 198 yards.
Dobbins is back.
Yeah, Dobbins had 125 yards rushing, no TDs. Gus the Bus pushed out another 55 yards, no TDs. They just couldn't get any points.
Yeah.
Whatever.
And that's Tyler Huntley.
Yeah, the Ravens play the Falcons next. They'll be fine. Yeah, Tyler Huntley was 138 yards, an interception, and 3 sacks. That's it. Like, nothing was going on. So, whatever. Can they catch the Bengals?
No. I think they can get a wild card. I don't think they can catch the Bengals. I think the Bengals are on fire. Bengals are on fire.
I think the Bengals will be... They got the Patriots and they got the Bills.
Those are tough, but the Bengals beat the Chiefs. You don't tell me they could beat Buffalo? Where's that game? Like, I don't know where that game is.
I think it's in Cincinnati.
If it's in Cincinnati, it is totally possible.
Yeah, that's true.
The bar has been set. The Bengals beat the Chiefs, so let's see them beat the Bills and then go on a run like they did last season to surprise everyone to get to the Super Bowl. Nobody towards the end of the season thought, oh yeah, the Bengals are going to the Super Bowl, but they did it.
It's true.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
You never know.
All right.
So now in that game, I picked the Browns. You picked the Ravens. So I get another point for that one. On to the last Saturday game.
Is that what happened?
Yeah. You picked the Ravens. I picked the Browns.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
All right.
I wasn't sure about the quarterback situation, so that's why I took the Browns at home.
Yeah. Good call.
So I get a point for that one. Next up, Saturday. This was one of the, if it wasn't for all the insane that happened on Sunday, I would say that this was the best game of the week.
It was a good game.
Because it's divisional. There was a blizzard. They had to clear the field. If by the fourth quarter, you couldn't see
Yeah. Oh, no.
it was snowing.
At game time, it was actually in pretty good condition. The field looked good and everything. I was like, oh, all right.
Fourth quarter started to
and then it was like, oh, here we go. Yeah.
So it's in Buffalo, Miami, divisional game. Miami needs a win here. They're fighting for a wild card or to even try and take the division. The division has now been clinched by the Bills with that win.
Yeah.
So, but the Miami is still well alive to get a playoff spot with a wild card.
Yeah.
So the Bills did win, but the Miami was up in the fourth.
Yeah.
It was a great game. It was back and forth. Miami really had a shot. I was shocked at how well this warm Florida weather team was playing in this blizzard.
Yeah.
Tua was good. I'll let you do all the stats.
Yeah, Bills took it.
But it was good.
Bills took it on a field goal with zero time.
They left. It was perfect clock management.
32-29. Zeros on the clock.
Yeah.
They win the game.
Your guy Knox had another good game.
Dawson Knox is awesome, man.
He's good.
He's the best player on the team, I think.
Come on.
Maybe not.
Stephon Diggs.
Yeah.
Josh Allen.
Gabe Davis.
Yeah,
maybe. I still think he's great.
Knox is good. He's the best tight end on that team.
Yeah, that's fine.
There you go.
Tua had 234 yards and 2 TDs. Good game. No interceptions. Allen, 304 yards, 4 TDs, 2 sacks, and he led the team in rushing again with 77.
I think that's
still
find,
and I told you this, I still think he takes too many questionable plays. Like even when he ran the ball in and it was like, it was first and goal, and he quarterback sneaked it. But it wasn't a quarterback sneak. It was, I'm going to high jump everybody Carl Lewis style, and then I'm going to do this. And that's just how you get hurt.
Statue of Liberty style.
Yeah, you're going to get hurt. Like, again, even though I know you're huge, he's like 6'5".
He's a big guy.
270 pounds. He's a big guy.
Not that much, but yeah.
Whatever. You're going to get hurt doing stuff like that. But anyways, whatever. Again, great game.
But is the Bills' one weakness running back?
Yeah.
Like they just like Singletary, you shouldn't be leading your team in rushing when you're that good of a quarterback and you throw for 4 TDs.
Yeah, Singletary only had 42 yards.
It's not good. I think the Bills were in on that Christian McCaffrey trade deadline mix.
Yeah.
And that's the one thing that the Bills don't have. They have a great receiving core, a great tight end, a solid defense, even with Von Miller going out. Josh Allen is a top 3 MVP candidate. He consistently throws for over 300 yards every game.
Oh, yeah. He's right behind Mahomes on receiving. Yeah.
So it's really their one issue. Don't let Josh Allen be your one main rusher. That is the one thing I think holding back the Bills is a top-level running back or a running back duo. Because Singletary's not bad, but they don't have that A.J. Dillon. They don't have to accompany Aaron Jones. Like
Miami's got Raheem Mostert.
Yeah.
Who had
Mostert had a great game.
136 yards.
Yeah.
And it's also nice to see Jalen Waddle have 114 yards in a TD. Because last couple of games, he's been kind of out of the picture. Tyreek Hill had 69 yards in a TD. For Buffalo, again, the rush game is 0. Like nothing was going on. Like I said, Allen had 77 of the 150 yards they had. So he's got 50% of their rushing yards.
It's just it's too much running for a guy like that.
Dawson Knox, 98 in a TD. Stephon Diggs, 60 yards. And Naheem Hines and Quentin Morris also had a TD. So anyways, Buffalo played good. They spread it around.
Miami had a chance.
Miami could have, but Miami still look good too. They'll be fine. They're playing the Packers this week, so they're going to have another loss on the books.
We'll see.
We'll see what happens there. And the Bills are playing the Bears, so I'm pretty sure they'll just rest Josh Allen.
Yeah, but the Bears gave the Eagle a little bit of a scare early in this game in Week 15 too. So I wouldn't sleep on the Bears because Justin Fields is back.
Yeah, well,
so we'll see how that goes. I obviously think the Bills can win that game, but yeah.
Okay, so Miami right now is 8-6. They're fighting for the wild card. Their last 3 games are the Packers, Patriots, and Jets. That's a tough schedule.
You have to win both those divisional games. You have to.
It's a tough schedule.
You could lose. So you could lose to the Packers. I don't think that they will, but they could lose to the Packers.
Yeah.
You have to win the Jets and Patriots. You have to win those games if you want a wild card spot.
Well,
very interesting football coming up. Yeah. So anyway, in that game, I picked the Dolphins. You picked the Bills. So you get a point.
Boom.
Now we're on to Sunday, and we'll start with my team. The now 13-1 Philadelphia Eagles. They clinched their division, especially with that Cowboys loss. We'll talk about that. But the Eagles, most likely the #1 seed in the NFC. I don't think they've clinched the conference. They've definitely clinched their division. So we'll see how that plays out. But most likely at 13-1, you're going to be the 1 seed.
Yeah, I mean, how are they not? I mean, really, who's going to... It's only the Vikings that could, I guess, if...
The rest have to be divisional. We got Cowboys on Christmas Eve. That's coming up.
Yeah.
And then it's Vikings and... How do they end the season? Commanders? Or Giants? Giants. Yeah, they end the season.
Yeah, I think they got the conference. I don't see them not having...
It'll be... they should. At 13-1, you should be... They should have the #1 seed in the NFC. But they did clinch their division. With this win over the Bears, I was a little nervous early. It was 6-3 Bears, all field goals. And Justin Fields is playing well, and I'm like, I don't like it as an Eagles fan. But then, this is the man. The man hurts so good is the nickname I give him. Jalen Hurts didn't throw for 3 touchdowns. He didn't hand off 3 touchdowns. He ran in 3 mother trucking touchdowns by himself and just kind of took over. If he's not the MVP this season, close is we got Josh Allen and Patty Mahomes. Josh Allen's never won an MVP, so I could see that going his way. It's only Jalen Hurts' 2nd season.
Yeah.
But man, is he playing good.
I know. I apologize to everybody watching. I know we're all getting sick of the Jalen Hurts show.
Yeah.
There's actually been some reports that have come out that there is some dissension in the ranks on the Eagles team. A lot of the players now are referring to Jalen as a ball hog. He could have passed any time, but he decided he was just going to run the TDs in himself.
Yeah.
They're calling him
just do it myself.
Selfish. They're calling him a glory boy. He just wants to be the highlight reel all the time. 315 yards.
Wow.
No touchdowns, though.
Ran in 3 touchdowns.
You ran him in. How do you throw over 315 yards and none of those guys got a touchdown? A.J. Brown had 181 yards.
Yeah.
The Texans haven't had 181 yards in the last 3 games. Okay? Like, Devontae Smith had 126 yards and he didn't have a touchdown.
They get to the red zone and then he just runs them in.
Yeah, I guess so.
All the receiving is to get them to the red zone, and then Jalen's like, I got this.
And now I'm going to run it in. Everyone else is like, can I get a touchdown? He's like, no. I get all touchdowns.
It's the scene from Talladega Nights.
Exactly.
It's like, maybe I thought you could slingshot me in for a win. Yeah. But then how would I win if you win? I didn't see your point there.
Your point. You're right.
I'll just stuff it down deep.
Exactly.
So there's no need to talk about really anymore. I mean, Jalen,
no, it's good. Yeah.
The Eagles. We both picked the Eagles. Sorry, Bears. Eagles now 13-1 and clinched their division.
Justin Fields is back. Yeah, and he got sacked 6 times. So I'm pretty sure he's like, "What the hell did I come back for this?"
That was fun.
Well, the Eagles' defense is pretty
it's good.
So, anyways, Eagles are playing Dallas. What's the story on Jalen Hurts, though? Is his shoulder?
We should touch on this. We'll do more going into our prediction show later this week for Week 16. But early reports, shoulder, not like sprain, shoulder sprain is what they're calling it.
I think it's been probably just running in too many touchdowns.
It's the victory fist pumps.
Yeah, that's what gets you every time.
It screws with your shoulder.
Yeah. And raising the cup, like every single time he's got that cup he raises.
Yeah, the big victory goblet.
Yeah, it's like the Stanley Cup, but 20 pounds heavier.
Got it. Yeah. So Jalen Hurts, it is reported he has a shoulder sprain. I thought if it was any other team but the Cowboys, I would say they would probably rest him.
Yeah.
But since they clinched the division, you never know. We'll have to wait closer to Sunday to see. Actually, it's Saturday night. It's Christmas Eve. God. Saturday night, Christmas Eve, Eagles, Cowboys, divisional. I hope Jalen Hurts plays, but it all depends on his shoulder.
Yeah, but just imagine it. It's Christmas Eve. We're all with our families. We're enjoying ourselves. You and I are having a good time. Snow is falling. There's going to be some snow coming down. And that sexy piece of man candy gets in there. Minshew.
I know what you're talking about. The mustache.
Minshew starting the game, baby.
The mighty duck man.
Get him in there. I want to see the Minshew. Start that game, baby.
It would actually be really funny. Yeah. I actually like Gardner Minshew.
I do too. I want to see him play.
Gardner Minshew did such a good job with the Jags. Yeah. It was the Jags, right? Before Trevor Lawrence. I love Gardner Minshew. I love his style. He dresses like a 70s pimp.
Yeah.
Mustache. I love Minshew as the backup for the Eagles. So
that'll be amazing.
The Minshew show on Christmas Eve is possible if Jalen Hurts' shoulder, they want to rest it for the playoffs.
Well,
we'll see.
There's talk in Dallas that the only drive to the playoffs right now go through rush hour.
Cooper, I think that they put too much money into Dak.
If they want to make the playoffs, they're going to have to get stuck in a little bit of traffic because they ain't getting in there the way they're going now. But we'll get to that.
We'll get to the Dallas game. Next up in the 1 o'clock games on Sunday, Falcons Saints divisional game. These are two burger teams with no hopes of making the playoffs.
Yeah.
Mariota walked on his team. I don't even know who started for the Falcons. Just a garbage game. Saints won. There's not much to talk about. Who did start for the Falcons? Because I have no idea.
Desmond Ritter. Riddler?
I think he's the Riddler.
Riddler, I think. Not Ritter. Riddler.
The Riddler.
No, Riddler. The Riddler. Yeah. He had 97 yards and 4 sacks. Pretty solid. No TDs. Yeah. No interceptions. 4 sacks.
The newspaper headline read, "Riddle me this: who's starting at quarterback this weekend?"
Riddle me that. Can we take a mulligan on our last 3 games of the season? Andy Dalton had 151 yards and 2 TDs. Taysom Hill had 80 yards and a TD.
Nice.
Just make Taysom Hill the full-time quarterback.
I like Taysom Hill.
Other than that, Atlanta, because Desmond Riddler doesn't throw the ball, so they had 231 yards rushing. Algier had another big game, 139 yards. Somebody Cordell Patterson. They got a good run game.
I like the Falcons. Everything. Drake London, the rookie wide receiver. I love the Falcons. Everything except Mariota. He's gone. Now it's the Riddler. They just need to draft a better quarterback or get a free agency for next season. The Falcons are not as bad as they are on paper. The entire team. It's really the quarterback situation.
Yeah, it's too bad about Mariota. He's on the injury list now. He hurt his shoulder, loading all his equipment into the back of his Land Rover. But he'll be fine. He'll land another team somewhere in the CFL
as a backup.
As a backup in the CFL.
All right. You picked the Saints. I picked the Falcons. I don't know what I was smoking. So you got the point on that one. The Saints were a 4-point favorite and they won.
I think the Saints next year. Don't sleep on the Saints next year.
Yeah.
They still have to solve the quarterback situation.
Oh, his face is injured. Again.
Winston, So
No, the wide receiver.
Oh, Michael Thomas.
Yeah,
Michael Thomas is don't sleep on him for next year. This year is
Kamara.
This year's done. But next year, boom. And their division sucks. All right.
Next, Steelers, Panthers. I actually was excited for the Steelers here. The Panthers actually won last week in a shocker. So I didn't really know how to pick this game. I think it was pretty much a coin flip.
Yeah.
The Panthers were a 2.5-point favorite at home. You picked the Steelers. I picked the Panthers. How did this game go?
Steelers 24, Panthers 16.
Ooh, the
question
Steelers.
Now, the question is,
you get a point.
Pittsburgh 6-8.
Yeah,
they got 3 games left.
Can they get to 500?
Exactly. Can they do it? Just get to 500. They play the Raiders next, which is doable.
I don't know.
Anyways, Trubisky, 179 yards and a sack. Way to go.
That's because Pickett's out, right?
Sam Darnold, 225 yards, a TD, 4 sacks. So
yeah, they're both not good teams.
Carolina, they got rid of McCaffrey.
Yeah. So Hubbard got a touchdown.
So total rushing yards for the game, 21.
That's it.
That's it.
21.
21.
Okay. Hubbard's Canadian, by the way. He's from Edmonton.
Yeah, unless I got that wrong, which I might have. Receiving, DJ Moore had a touchdown. That's decent.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh's got a good run game.
Yeah, they do.
You know?
Yeah.
So Najee Harris had 86.
He's a great running
Jalen
back.
Warren had another 38. They both had TDs. So, I don't know. Pittsburgh, I don't know. They might
biggest
not
thing
make
for
the 500, but I don't know.
The biggest thing for Pittsburgh is that you're not going to make the playoffs. But
not in the playoffs.
Can you get Mike Tomlin avoid having his first loss season?
Yeah.
He's been 500 or better his entire career as the head coach for the Steelers. It is possible with 2 games remaining, and they just beat the Panthers. Can they go 9-8?
They'll have to win out.
They got to win out to have a not negative season for Tomlin's first losing season.
Yeah.
That'll be interesting. Okay.
Next one.
Next up, Chiefs, Texans. And I'll tell you what, we both picked the Chiefs. The Texans were 1-12-1 going into this game. The Houston Texans are getting the first overall draft pick next year. It's not even a question. They're just a piece of hot garbage. However, last week, in week 14, they took the Cowboys.
I know.
Like, it was this close, right?
Yeah.
So we were like, okay, that's a fluke.
Yeah.
But then they took the Chiefs to overtime.
They were winning like the whole game. Like
Davis Mills put up touchdowns, yards. Like, I'm curious about the stats. But seriously, the Chiefs were in trouble.
Let's not back up the MVP truck here.
The Chiefs were in trouble.
Yeah.
Let's get some of the stats on this game.
All right, Davis Mills had 121 yards.
He still put up some touchdowns. The 121 isn't indicative.
He did throw for 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, come on.
Mahomes had 336 yards. A little disappointing. We all were like, really, Mahomes? 336? You got a little cough. You got a cough. Did you have too big of a breakfast? You went for a second eggs, Benny.
He was constipated.
But anyways, 2 TDs. He also rushed 33 and had a TD.
Yeah.
So we call that the Hurts now because that's the only way the Eagles score.
I got to tell you, though, this is back-to-back games where Travis Kelce did not get a touchdown.
He didn't, but he had 105 yards.
No TDs?
No TDs. No. Juju at 88 yards. McKinnon had a game.
Yeah, he had a good game.
Including the game-winning touchdown in overtime.
Yeah.
Oh, did we mention this game went to overtime?
Yeah, I did. I
Which is insane.
The Texans took the Chiefs to overtime after almost beating the Cowboys in week 14. So hats off to the now 1-13-1 Texans for having back-to-back strong games against 2 very strong teams.
But how about Jerick McKinnon?
Yeah.
Like, the Chiefs are just getting stronger.
They pick up all these cool little pieces.
Like, that's amazing. Like, he had
a good pickup.
52 yards and a TD rushing and 70 yards receiving and a TD. 122 yards and 2 TDs, 1 rushing, 1 receiving.
Yeah,
nobody was talking about him at the beginning of the season.
No.
You know?
He was a backup.
Yeah, insane. So
good job.
So all of a sudden the Texans are looking decent.
Yeah.
And they're playing the Titans this week, who aren't looking decent. So I could see
they be the spoiler for the Titans?
I think they could. Ooh. And then the Jags catch the Titans. I don't know.
That's interesting. Can the Texans, after what they did to the Cowboys and the Chiefs, put the hurt on the Titans enough to give the Jags a chance to sneak up to that division lead?
Which Titans team is going to show up? Ooh. Or actually, which Tannehill is going to show up?
let's not put all the blame on the Titans. I believe this is the Tannehill fault.
Yeah, this is the Tannehill theory.
Yeah.
You know, so
exactly.
All right.
Both of us, by the way, took the Chiefs. But kudos to the Texans for covering that 14-point spread.
Yeah, I shit on
it. Was
I on the Texans a lot.
They played well.
I'm still going to Texans, but they played well.
They played well.
Yeah.
So kudos to them because a 14-point favorite. They covered the spread, took the Chiefs to OT. So good job, and the Chiefs, good job for not the bed.
You can make some good money off that game too.
If you took the 1-12-1 Texans to cover the spread against the Chiefs,
you make some good cash.
Put some shekels on that. Yeah, that would have been. Yeah.
All right.
If you had the balls to do
You're
that.
like, I just got to throw this $20 into the street.
Right? But they did it. So hats off to the Texans.
Yeah.
We both picked the Chiefs. We both were correct, but it actually took to overtime. So and the Chiefs actually with this win clinched their division. So that's cool.
Yeah.
Cowboys Jags. As an Eagles fan, this game gave me such glorious feelings in my underpants. I loathe the Cowboys as an Eagles fan. As an impartial lover of football, I can tell you that this game was exciting, and I'm actually kind of, will the Jags be that surprise team that end the season on a high, get a playoff spot, maybe even take the division away from the Titans, and make people ruin their playoffs?
Everybody,
it's possible.
Like, again, they got a great coach.
Yeah, they do.
They got a Super Bowl winning coach.
Yeah, from my Eagles.
From your Eagles.
Doug Peterson.
And Trevor Lawrence is coming into his own. It's his second year. He had a great game, man. He had 318 yards, 4 TDs, 1 interception, and a sack. That's a good game.
That's a good game. Yeah.
There are issues in Dallas. I know I crap on Dallas all the time because we all want to see Cooper Rush. We all do. I get it.
I don't think Cowboy fans want to see Cooper Rush.
Oh,
but
I beg to differ.
Dak keeps turning over the ball. That's his problem.
In the last 5 games, Dak Prescott has thrown 11 touchdowns and 7 interceptions. And you lost this game on a pick 6.
That's Jameis Winston like.
Well,
no, hear me out.
Getting there.
Jameis Winston had that amazing season where he threw for 30 touchdowns, and people were like, "Holy!" But he also threw 30 interceptions.
Yeah.
So Dak is honestly, you throw 11 touchdowns and 7 picks. That is horrible.
It's not good. No.
That's not good.
No.
So Dak's got to stop turning the ball over, and it's 1,000% Dak Prescott's fault that the Jags won this game on a pick 6. Didn't it go to? Was this in OT?
It was in OT.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So ends the game right there with a pick 6. Yeah. Honestly, the Jags are on a heater. The Cowboys lose in a very important game going into playing the Eagles on Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
I'm excited for it.
Yeah, the Jags right now. Now, first of all, we gotta give kudos to Tony Pollard.
Yeah.
I mean, Tony Pollard's playing great. 75 yards rushing, 31 yards receiving, and a TD. He's doing awesome.
He's doing good.
You know, it's great. CeeDee Lamb had another 126
Ezekiel's good.
Ezekiel had 58 yards in a TD, and Noah Brown receiving 49 yards, 2 TDs. So that's great. I mean, Dallas has got some weapons.
It's Dak.
It's Dak Prescott. I mean, that's why we need
the Cooper rush hour.
That's what we need. The Drags, Zay Jones had 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, he did.
On the Jags. That's awesome. 109 yards, 3 touchdowns. Okay, so the Jags. Here we go. Jags right now are 6-8. Titans are 7-7. We're talking AFC South. Jags have the Jets, Texans, Titans. Titans have Texans, Cowboys, Jags. This week, the last week is going to be insane.
It'll decide so much.
Jags and Titans, Packers and Lions. Like it's going to be
divisional finals.
It's all divisional. It's going to be insane. That
awesome.
weekend is going to be off the charts.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I don't know, man. The Jags are looking good, man.
The Jags are playing good.
Thursday night football against the Jets this week.
Yeah,
that's going to be a game.
I actually think that the Jags can take the Jets because, and I'll say this too: the Jets are having to start Zach Wilson.
Yeah.
So
Zach Wilson had an okay game this week.
He's too many turnovers, too many sacks.
Yeah.
We haven't talked about the Jets game yet, have we? No.
I heard one I don't even know if it was on Mad Dog or it might have been on NFL Live. They're like, Zach Wilson for some reason has no problem making the really hard passes, but the easy passes he just So anyways,
Mike White, it's looking like it actually got officially announced today. Salah, the head coach, has announced that Zach Wilson will start Thursday.
Oh, he is starting.
Yeah, Mike White is not ready. So that actually gives the Jags a leg up. And the Jags can do this. The Jags can catch. The Titans are on a downslide. It is entirely possible. I think it'll come down to week 18, but it is possible. We should probably move on just because we have a lot.
Yeah, we're going a lot.
But that Jags Cowboys, like honestly, a pick 6 to end the game in OT. The Jags upsetting the Cowboys, who were a 4.5-point favorite
Yeah.
on the road. So to end the early games on Sunday, Lions, Jets. The Detroit Lions have been on fire. They need to keep winning games, basically win out. I think they're not going to catch the Vikings, especially when the Vikings overcame that loss to actually win that game against the Colts. Yeah. So the Lions need to kind of win out to get a wild card, but so do the Packers.
Yeah.
And the Lions and Packers face each other in the last week of the season.
Yeah, Detroit's 7-7. If they win out, I'm pretty sure they got it.
It's close. It'll be close.
But it's going to come down to that game, I think.
But the Lions were no, it was actually kind of even. On the early spreads on the game where this was even. This was Lions at Jets, and the Lions won. The Lions played well. They won this game. Hats off to the Lions for Jared Goff getting a bit of a redemption story from after getting traded from the Rams. What were some of the stats in the game?
It was tight. I was watching this game. It was tight.
Yeah.
Goff had 252 yards and a TD, nothing crazy. Zach Wilson, 317 yards, 2 TDs, 1 interception, 4 sacks. Wasn't a horrible game for Zach Wilson.
Though.
Wasn't a horrible game.
But when it came down to the end, he couldn't win the game.
He couldn't win the game.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Yeah. So, and that is exactly what happened. Actually.
That's Zach Wilson.
So good game. Lions are on a heater right now. Everyone's talking about the Lions. Let's see what happens.
And who do the Lions have in week 16?
The Panthers.
The Panthers. So that's doable.
That's doable. That's doable. And the Jets play the Jags.
Yeah, that's going to be such a tough game.
And the Jets are 7-7, and the Patriots are 7-7. So the bottom of that division, they're fighting it out for a wild card.
Yep.
Everyone's fighting it out for a wild card. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting. Detroit's got Panthers, Bears, and then the Packers.
I didn't say it previously, but in the Cowboys Jags, I took the Cowboys. You took the Jags.
Right.
So you actually got a point on that game.
Damn.
And then for this one, you took the Lions. I took the Jets. So you get another point.
I'm on a heater, baby.
You're on fire this week.
Yeah.
In our season-long predictions, you got both of those correct. All right.
Next up.
4 o'clock games. This one, nobody gives a flying about. No. It was Cardinals at Broncos. Russell Wilson did not play. He was concussion protocol.
Brett Ripen.
Ripen.
He's right. Is he Ripen? Ripen.
Broncos actually won.
Yeah, 24-50.
Kyler Murray's out for the rest of the year, and the Broncos are playing a backup, so nobody really gives a crap. Both of these teams are not making the playoffs.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to say any stats here.
I don't know nobody watched this game. I mean, literally nobody watched this game. There was nobody even in the stands. I don't know what happened for Arizona because Trace McSorley and Colt McCoy played. Both of them played. I don't know if
they're trialing out McSorley.
Did Colt McCoy start and get injured, or did did the coach just mix them up and put the wrong player in?
Probably.
Yeah,
doesn't matter.
McCoy, McSorley, whatever. They're both mixed. One of the two you get in there.
Get in there.
Well, Trace McSorley had 95 yards and 2 interceptions.
They're probably just trying him out.
Yeah, so he went for 2 interceptions.
Give him some yards.
2 interceptions isn't too bad. No touchdowns.
That's not horrible.
Colt McCoy had 78 yards, interception, and 2 sacks. Also no touchdowns. Brett Ripen. 197 yards. He had a TD.
There you go.
Which is nice.
Something.
He also had 7 sacks.
Oh my gosh.
So that's
that's a
lot of sacks.
Is it the Broncos offensive line? Because Russell Wilson's getting sacked more than
it is.
Like a potato factory.
But the Broncos defense is still good defense. They don't allow a lot of points, but their offensive line, because they got rid of Chubb.
Chubb was a defensive player. He was a linebacker.
Oh, he was a defensive player.
Yeah,
so
he wasn't offensive.
So their offensive line was never good.
Yeah, Broncos' defense is good.
Their defense is good.
But they need a better offensive line.
Yeah, that's right. He was a defensive
Anyway, K-Dog picked the Broncos. I picked Arizona. You get another point.
Yeah, but who cares about that?
For that one, but this game was garbage. Nobody cares. All right. This game is lights out. Might be the dumbest way to win a game in NFL history. And I mean worse than the butt fumble. Worse than any other goof that you could make. This might be the most embarrassing way to lose a football game I've ever seen, that the world has ever seen. It was that embarrassing. Like, you don't want to show your face at practice sort of stuff. Bill Belichick, it was Patriots, Raiders. It was in LA. Patriots are a 1-point favorite on the road, trying to get a wild card spot in their tough division. And this game was down to the wire. It was back and forth, but really all of it adds up to what happened in the final seconds. We have to show the clip because it was the dumbest thing anyone has ever done with a football since Ray Finkel.
Nobody even understands it. And it
doesn't make any sense.
It is what it is.
All right, you break down what happened. Now it's 24-24, correct?
Okay. I actually broke it down. I was watching it.
Yeah, I want you to break it down.
NFL Live, and I was breaking it down.
I believe it was 24-24 in the fourth. Time is about to expire. Patriots have the ball. K-Dog take over.
Yeah, Raiders had a big lead. Raiders blew their lead, right?
Yeah.
Raiders, they always do.
Patriots came back.
Derek Carr threw a pick six, blah, 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 blah. Devontae Adams didn't have a great game.
Yeah.
Josh Jacobs still had 93 yards, blah, 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 whatever. It's tie game, 24-24.
Yeah. Time's about to expire.
Time's about to expire, right? Okay.
Stevenson
Mac Jones
the ball, right?
gets it to Stevenson. Stevenson runs, laterals it to Jacoby Myers. Jacoby Myers gets it. Doesn't really know what's going on. He tries to throw it back to Mac Jones, but Chandler Jones gets in there, interception, gets it, runs it back. There's no time on the clock. They could have just take a knee.
If you are a Patriot or a Patriots fan, you are like Bill Belichick must have gone to town on these guys in the locker room after with a baseball bat.
Yeah. Inglorious
Bastard style. I'm talking livid because all you do is you take a knee and you go to overtime, you win it in overtime. These laterals, or did they think that they were down a point? Like, what was going through their heads?
There's so many different theories. And Jacoby Myers is a great player, by the way.
Yeah.
And he's an extremely smart player, and he's a great player. But the funniest thing is, throwing it backwards to Mac Jones, what's he gonna do? Because it's behind the line. The ball's the ball's already gone past the line of scrimmage, so he can't throw it. Is he gonna run it in?
Run it and lateral again?
So
there was no point.
There's no point. What's he gonna do? Like, the game's over.
And
like,
I think
it's got to go to overtime. Like,
the funniest part too was that Raiders defensive player, stiff arming.
Oh yeah.
Was it Mac Jones that he
stiff-armed? Mac Jones.
He stiff-armed him so hard, and it was like, get the out of my way, and just stiff-armed him, ran into the end zone. Raiders win. It doesn't even have a chance to go to overtime. All because the Patriots blunder. Like, it was the dumbest thing in all of football to lose the game like that.
This was a huge game for the Patriots.
They needed it.
They needed this win.
Yeah.
It was also funny. Mac Jones said at one point, one interview, he said, "Well, I should have tried to tackle Chandler Jones." I'm like, really?
Good luck with that.
You're not tackling Chandler Jones. So yeah,
good luck with that.
Yeah. Anyways, I don't know. I feel horrible for the Patriots because it was a way to lose. I mean, you would have gone 8-6. You would have had a solid game up on the Jets.
Yeah.
Now you're both 7-7, fighting for that wild card. That would have been a great win. And the rest, I don't have the rest of the Patriots schedule here.
That's all right.
But it's hard. It's a hard schedule.
It's difficult.
It's a hard schedule. Even
we do know that they're playing the Jets one more time, I believe.
And who are they playing this week? I got it written down right here. Just give us. They're playing the Bengals.
Yeah.
Bengals at home this week, so they have a tough. Last 3 games were tough for the Patriots, so I feel bad for them. But
in our predictions, K-Dog takes the Raiders. I took the Patriots like an idiot. You get another point for that. And just hats off to the Patriots for probably the dumbest thing you could ever do with a football at the end of regulation instead of just going to OT. That was the biggest blunder in NFL history. Mic drop.
All right.
Next up, we have Titans-Chargers.
This game was close.
It was close. Titans lose another one. Chargers win it on a Dicker the Kicker field goal.
Yep.
Yeah, I love Dicker the Kicker, man. That guy's my personal hero.
Yep.
Dicker the Kicker wins it. Chargers are on doing really well to end this season. I don't think people are giving them enough credit. Justin Herbert's playing great football.
Yeah.
And the Titans lose another important game as the Jags are just climbing up there, ready to take over.
And the Chargers are on a bit of a heater, man. I can tell you. And Tannehill sucks.
Tannehill's not playing well.
He had 165 yards, no TDs, 1 interception, 4 sacks. Malik Willis was in for a bit. I don't know what he was. I don't know. Maybe they pulled Tannehill. I don't even know.
I don't know because I wasn't watching that game. I only saw the highlights. I didn't know they.
Herbert had 313 yards. He didn't have any TDs either, but
Eckler.
Henry had a game.
Eckler ran one in.
Yeah, he did, yeah. Henry had a game. 104 yards rushing, 59 yards receiving, and a TD.
That's Derrick Henry.
Yeah,
but
and then there's nothing else. The rest of the team didn't do shit.
It's Tannehill, and the Titans need to start winning games, or you're going to see Trevor Lawrence and the Jags in the playoffs because they win the division over you, and you just let it slip through your fingers.
I hope that happens.
Through your buttery fingers.
I hope that happens. I hope that happens.
I kind of rooting for it too.
The Titans want. The Titans are always winning. They're always getting into playoffs because their division's horrible. AFC East, South. AFC South and the NFC South are just horrible divisions. Horrible divisions.
Chargers were a 3-point favorite going into this game. It was at home. They did win. I picked the Chargers because I'm high on Herbert right now. You picked the Titans, so I get a point.
Yeah.
Next up, Bengals BUCCS, and I'm sorry, Tom Brady fans. He is the GOAT. 7 Super Bowls. But now you're gonna limp into the playoffs with your division.
Yeah.
And I don't know what to say. The Bengals, it wasn't even close.
Well, here's the thing about this game. And there's everyone's throwing stats out about this game. Now stats don't mean right? At the end of the day, right? NFC South division.
Yeah.
They're 6-8. Carolina's 5-9. They got to worry about Carolina. I don't think they worry about the Saints and the Falcons. But even then, I don't think it's going to be a big
Bucks
deal.
are going to win the division with a negative record.
So here's the deal. Bucks were up 17-0.
I do remember that, yeah.
Brady is 89-0 when he's up by 17.
Oh, I didn't know that stat.
Yeah, there was that stat that got thrown out.
89-0.
89. He never lost a game when he was up 17 or more. So, yeah, 89-0. And then so it was 17-3 going into halftime. Here's how the second half went down.
Oh.
I went step by step.
Burrow went off, man.
Yeah. So the Bucks, they turned it over on downs.
Yeah.
Then it threw an interception. Then they had 2 fumbles. One was by Brady, who fumbled the pass to Fournette, the handoff to Fournette. Yeah. Then an interception, a punt, and then they had a garbage time TD. Like the second half, it
was all Bengals.
It was all Bengals.
All Bengals.
It was over.
Yeah.
Burrow went for 200 yards, 4 TDs and an interception. Yeah. Brady had 312 yards, 3 TDs, 2 interceptions. It was crazy. Jamar Chase had a great game, 60 yards and a TD. Tyler Boyd, 35 yards. Wilcox and T. Higgins also had TDs.
What was the final score again?
34-23.
Yeah, so they didn't get many. They got 6 points, probably 2 field goals after those 17.
Yeah.
And that was it. And the Bengals win another important game. Yeah. With a Ravens loss, the Bengals take over first place in their division in the AFC.
Yep.
So they're looking tight going down the final stretch until Lamar Jackson gets back. And hopefully the Ravens get a wild card spot. But it's looking like the Bengals are on an absolute heater, on fire, and they're going to win their division and go to the playoffs.
Yeah, the remaining schedule is not good. I had it written down somewhere here.
But they're still going to win. I think they're going to win their division.
I think they'll still take the division. Yeah, they played Patriots, Bills, Ravens. So, but we talked about that.
Yeah.
You know, I think they beat the Patriots. And I think the Bills will be a tough game, but then they got the Ravens.
The Bills will be tough.
Yeah.
Also, you and I picked the Bengals to win, so we both get a point.
Cool.
On to Sunday Night Football. It was a divisional game. Both teams are fighting for a wild card spot. If the playoffs started today, they're both in.
Yeah.
In fact, all 4 teams from the NFC East would be in the playoffs, which is crazy. So it was Giants Commanders. It was in Washington. They're a 4.5 point favorite at home. Heineke's on fire. Giants lost last week.
Yep.
So people are really high on the Commanders right now, thinking this was a great game for them to get ahead of the Giants because their records were tied. So this was an obvious must-win for both teams.
Yep.
And there were some insanely poor refereeing.
Yeah.
Bad judgment calls. Let's break down this game quick, and then we'll talk about how the game ended on bull calls by the refs.
I mean, that's the whole story right now. I mean, you want to touch out some stats. Daniel Jones, 160 yards, no TDs, interception and a sack. I don't like Daniel Jones.
I don't think he's all that cracked up. Yeah.
Heineke, 249 yards and a TD, 3 sacks. He did fumble a couple times. So
yeah.
That wasn't great.
Not a strong Heineke game.
Saquon had 87 yards, a TD, 33 yards receiving.
Nice.
Saquon's just running the show right now.
He's the best player on the team.
Brian Robinson had a good game, 89 yards for Washington. And Dodson, we got Dodson here. He had 105 yards and a TD. So, but it all came down to that final play.
What was the final score?
Final score was 2012.
2012. So you could technically, Commanders had the ball.
Commanders had the ball.
If you got a TD and a 2-point conversion, and you're going to OT.
Yeah.
All right. So you break down what happened because I think that a referee should be fired over what happened. I think it's completely just the biggest crock of I'd ever seen.
Yeah, it was. I don't know exactly what yard line they were on, but it was basically.
Let's say they're first and goal.
It was first and goal, basically.
All right.
So Terry McLaurin is set up on the far right hand side, right at the sideline, right where the ref is. Right.
Yeah.
He's talking to the ref to see if he's in the right position. The ref almost signals that he can move up a little bit. He moves up. The ref gives him the thumbs up. They snap the ball. The flag goes up right away.
Same ref.
Same ref. Yeah. Heineke to Brian Robinson gets the TD. Boom, they're down by
ready
a point.
To go.
Flag is up there. They nail Terry McLaurin for an illegal formation.
Yeah, but he asked the ref permission.
Yeah.
He's like, am I lined up? We're going to show the footage here for you guys.
Yeah.
He said, am I in position? And the guy gave him the thumbs up.
Yeah. So they nail him on an illegal formation. The touchdown gets called back.
Bullshit.
And now, boom, they're back. And then they go to throw it again. Basically, they're going to Curtis Samuel.
Yeah.
It was a great throw. It was right on the money. Darnay Holmes of the Giants was just manhandling him.
Bear hugging him.
Insane pass interference call.
Not called.
No call. It was so obvious it was a pass.
I want to know which NFL ref doing that game had money on the Giants because
insane.
Those two plays should not have been penalized. Like, that was the most blatant. Somebody should get fired, investigated, because how do you not make those two calls? You give the guy a thumbs up and then throw the flag that he's not in position.
Yeah.
That is absolute insane conspiracy theory level bull.
It was nuts.
And the Giants win the game. Commanders, who are favored at home, so there's money. You're putting money on the Giants. You're getting, like...
I don't know.
Because the Commanders are favorited. So the points are going to be higher for the Giants to win.
Yeah.
How do you those two calls... Like, one is completely obvious on camera that the ref gave him the okay positionally and then threw the flag on him, and then the no pass interference call at the end to
I don't even know.
Absolute bullshit.
It's insane.
Commanders lose, Giants win, and I hope some ref gets fired.
Yeah, and I mean, Washington, this win, this would have been a good win.
They needed it.
They got the 49ers, the Browns, and the Cowboys left.
Oh,
that's a tough game.
You might be able to beat the Browns.
Yeah, that's the only one I think. And then the Giants got the Vikings, the Colts, and then the Eagles.
Yeah.
So it's not looking too good for them either. But
one of them's, I think we're gonna see. I don't think we'll see all four teams. Like, if the playoffs started now, all four teams are in.
Yeah.
I don't think that's gonna happen. I think three though.
Yeah.
I think Cowboys will get a wild card, and one of these two will get a wild card.
Yeah, but Washington...
I don't think all four.
Washington could not get that wild card because of this game.
Because of... and 1,000%, it was not the Giants that beat them. It wasn't Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
It was the referees. 1,000%.
Robinson had that TD. Now, he had that TD. They were still down by,
You got to get a 2-point conversion.
You got to get the 2-point conversion. They're still down by 2 points. So you never know what might have happened, but they weren't going to get the chance because... The ref had some money running on the other game, and Tommy Two Fingers is waiting in the stands for him.
Washington was favored. We both picked Washington. We both lose in our predictions for that one.
Yeah.
All right, quickly, we got to go on to K-Dogs Packers.
Yeah.
Monday Night Football. It was Baker Mayfield's show last week. He got released by the Panthers on a plane, downloaded the playbook to his iPad. Had one practice and then went out for the Rams and won the game. Like, it was Baker Mayfield magic.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Well, it's over now.
That is dead and gone because the Rams were in Lambeau in a very cold arena for a wicked game against the Packers for Monday Night Football. And the Packers dominated, and I'm going to tell you why. It wasn't Watson, and it clearly wasn't Lazard, who just absolutely... on our fantasy football. We'll talk about that later. But it was the running game. They went back to A.J. Dillon and the running game. A.J. Dillon had a monster of a game, and it was really the run.
Yeah, Aaron Jones too.
Both. But the tandem, right?
Yeah.
But A.J. had 2 TDs. Like, it was the going back to the run game. because that opens up your pass. If they're scared about the run and you got 2 strong backs that can do it no matter what down it is, then it opens up your wide receivers by having the run game. So the Packers did it. Great win. The Mayfield magic died. And the Rams, it wasn't even close.
No.
What are some of the stats on the game?
Rodgers had 229, TD and 3 sacks. Mayfield went for 111, a TD, 5 sacks.
111?
Yeah,
and 5 sacks.
Yeah, Aaron Jones. Again, we want to talk about the rush game. It's not even the rush game. It's a rush/receiving game.
Yeah, they're both good receiving backs.
Aaron Jones had 90 yards and 36 receiving. Nice. So 126 combined. AJ Dillon 35 receiving, 36 rushing. So we got 71 and 2 TDs. That's nice.
Yeah, but did you see the TD where he just took over? Like he just carried.
He ran it.
He ran it. He didn't
Everybody
care.
came along for the ride.
Yeah, they were all just jumping on AJ Dillon like it was a goddamn San Francisco subway car.
Yeah, LaFleur was in there. It was like, I don't even know what he was doing in there. He was like, well, everybody else is jumping on, so I'm getting on. I don't know.
Just dragged everybody into the end zone with him. Like he's so strong.
Everybody's jumping on. I was like, Pete Davidson's.
Hey-oh.
Anyways. Nice to see Romeo Dobbs too. He had a nice 55.
Oh, Dobbs was back.
Nice to see 50. And Christian Watson, 46 yards. So
yeah. Packers with a the slimmest of slim.
A win's a win.
Chance to get the wild card. They have to win out. They got this one.
We got Miami, Minnesota, and then the Lions.
You got to win all 3. You can do it. You can do it.
You can do it.
But the Packers got a much-needed win, and they must win out if they want a wild card. K-Dog obviously picked his Packers. I lost that one. You got a point. That's it for our recap for Week 15. You, my friend, got 12 correct. I got 7. Aha! So you cut my lead in half with 5 points. So now I only have a slim margin of a 5-point lead going into Week 16 in our season-long prediction show. Eat a big bag of shit.
Damn right.
First we're gonna vote, then we're gonna fight.
I'm on a heater.
Semi-pro. Yeah. So congratulations to K-Dog for cutting that lead in half with 5 wins over me in the season-long predictions. Tune in. Speaking of which, we're gonna have our Week 16 prediction show. Christmas Eve games. We've got a lot of football to discuss. We'll also talk about our season-long fantasy football league versus fans.
Yeah.
We'll break down that and all the predictions for Week 16 on Thursday night. It'll air right before kickoff for Thursday Night Football. So make sure you tune in for that. For this show, don't forget to like, comment, share this video, and subscribe. We appreciate you guys. Check out Just a Bit Offside on Instagram too for more bonus content. Until next time, I'm Fish.
Get up.
We'll see you again soon.
Peace.